But watch the news coverages this week and see where they land. Are they looking to inform or instigate? That's the question. Are you looking to inform or instigate? Before I get started, please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. This helps to get the content out and to make our voice known so we can be active in this culture, in the community, not just related to government, but to impact this culture and fulfill our mission to educate, motivate, and activate. This week marks the 100-year anniversary, remembrance, whatever you want to call it, of the Tulsa Race Massacre. To sum it all up, there was a prosperous area in Tulsa comprised of African American or black people, where they were self-sufficient. They had their own economy, had banks, had produce. They were entrepreneurs. They had a lot of things going for them. But because of a false report, which is very similar to the reports that were going around in those days. It's funny, it makes me think about, it's funny how white men did not value the lives of white women at that time or respect them to give them the ability to vote. But yet, in this instance, as in the instance with Emmett Till down in Mississippi, the rumor of a black man assaulting a white woman caused what is known as the Tulsa Race Massacre. Some call it the Tulsa Race Riots. I call it Race Massacre because of the number of black people that were killed and the businesses and the homes that were destroyed, the buildings that were destroyed. That set back a generation of black people in Tulsa. Some never recovered. And so that got me to thinking. This, along with some of the other commemorations that have happened in the past year, that caused me to think. Are we talking about these to inform, to educate, to heal, to bring the country together? Or are we addressing these things now to instigate, to cause anger and hostility between the races? Because if it's the former, great. I'm all for that. We need to have these discussions about periods in the past that were not the best for America and not the best for black people or white people, because it's a reflection on them as well. But if it's the latter, if it's meant to stir up anger and strife and hostility, I'm not for that. Because history is there to teach us. History is there to teach us not to repeat the ills that took place in the past. But if we forget that, if we choose to dwell on the anger, on the emotion of that particular incident, all we're doing is sowing the seeds of hatred, of anger for a new generation. Think about it. If I'm meant to just give you information about the Tulsa Race Riot or the Tulsa Race Massacre, whatever you want to call it, then I'll present it to you in a way that, yes, that talks about the parties involved, that talks about the history of what they call Black Wall Street, that talks about those things in an informative way, that gives you both sides, but with no emotion involved. No emotion involved. Just gives you the facts about the historical incident that took place there. But if I'm coming to instigate you, then I will slant my message to a way that paints all white people as evil, all white people as oppressors, and all black people as being oppressed. That the same thing that happened back in 1921 can happen again. That the same sentiment that happened 100 years ago in Tulsa is here now in America. And I don't buy that. I hope it's the former. I hope they're looking to inform, not instigate. Because we've had too much instigation over the last year or two. Too much instigation. by race hustlers, those who are looking to profit off of division. And we don't need that. We need to come together as a country, talk about the ills of the past, address them, and move on together. Because the people that are looking to stir up strife and anger and hostility, all they want to do is create victims. And my friend, you're not a victim. I'm not a victim. We are empowered for greatness. And that's what we need to be focused on.